Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning. This is Channel 196 in Star Times. This is Cool TV. Welcome to Crossfire. Today is Monday, the 31st of August, 2015. I'm not alone here. We'll be doing our business as usual. I have Ishoma Againe with me. Ishoma, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
How was the weekend?
Beautiful. Good morning and welcome to Crossfire today.
Right.
Before we start off on the show today, something amazed me over the weekend, particularly on Saturday after the sanitation exercise. Well, I and my partner, we were driving through and then we were stopped by members of the police force. Of course, you understand the directive which they were giving to stop and search. And they asked for all necessary papers and documents which we presented. And you won't believe that a police officer could not tell a driver's license from other documents. And I was wondering, so how is he able to stand here and carry out his duties effectively? I mean, the truth for me is, while we're also clamoring that we need more policemen. I'm serious. And I was dazed, but I was still very annoyed. But then, of course, I decided to vet my anger on air today and call on all those in charge to please train these individuals effectively. It's not just about recruiting people. We need people who understand the left from the right, but still understand their duties and can carry it out effectively. I mean, it's also possible that somebody you can actually, have salt or probably powder, in the funny-looking container, and then you could just, You
can pass for anything. Pass
for cocaine or something else because they're not well trained. I mean, really on a Monday morning.
All right. I mean, that on a very sad note. To have engaged or probably experienced that from, a police officer in Nigeria. Don't forget that we picked up the story of Nigeria actually recruiting 10,000, police officers in addition to roughly about 350,000 that we have on the ground. You will remember we talked about a couple of things that government is expected to do if eventually, the Nigerian police will measure to the standard of international police activity. It has to deal with training and retraining. It has to do with educating them. There's no point trying to say, okay, because we want to pay them. If the police are well paid, Ishoma, if you employ a graduate or set of graduates into the Nigerian police, believe you me, the government may be thinking, okay, let's recruit people who are just school start holders, who are dropouts from school, and you don't even want to know why they drop out. Some of them may have dropped out because they just don't know book. Let me put it that way. And some of them probably dropped out because they are deprived. Some may drop out because of some social factors. Maybe their families could not really afford sponsoring them back to school. So as a matter of fact, we believe that
the issue for me
time,
is I'm not particular about graduates or no graduates. I'm particular about having people who, first of all, have dignity.
They are not illiterate.
Exactly. At least they can read and write. And you can still train them to the level you want them to be able to function at.
Exactly.
But the most important thing is we need people of integrity and dignity in the Nigerian police force. We need people who know their left from their right. People who understand the beauty of dignity. Somebody comes and you want to pass across 15 naira or 100 naira, you'll tell you, no, I'm doing my duty. Because it was alarming, even after we presented everything. Okay, young man, can you please let us go? They're like, okay, today is Saturday now. Anything for us.
Now, another amazing thing, I don't know about
We're
you,
trying to clean this country.
Yeah, another amazing thing, I don't know about you, is that out of 10 police officers that probably have stopped me in recent times, all of them communicated with me in Pidgin. You hardly find a police officer stopping you and speaking good English to you. You will hear things like, Oga now, I bet park for there. Come open your boot. You know things like that. Can I have your particulars? And that one can even pass for a pigeon anyway because it's so popular. Can I have your particulars? And then the next one is going to be weigh your driver's license. And all of that.
You're complaining about their mode of communication. Then you should also see how they dress. Most times,
that one is appalling.
Look at them,
that one is appalling.
Sometimes the one that, are you a police officer or you're a criminal? You're holding a rifle. You're not even talking.
Putting on a bedroom slippers or an ordinary slippers.
Exactly. Or probably you're putting on a funny-looking T-shirt and then your uniform, trousers. Really, have you ever seen a military officer or probably a naval officer dressed that way?
That way.
Dressing incomplete. You
All right.
dare not.
It's Momentum Monday. It's Momentum Monday. And, you know, on Momentum Monday, we bring you several stories, you know, just as it's fresh. I mean, a lot of things happen over the weekend, and we definitely will just be flooding as much information as we have, and then we gather momentum, you know, from the beginning to the end of the show. So don't go away. We will start with our first story, and that has to do with security in Nigeria. Boko Haram have probably stepped up, you know, their activity, and they have re-strategized, and that involves spreading across the nation. It appears as if every activity of government is really putting a lot of fire, you know, on their hideouts, and they are beginning to run away from wherever they've been hiding, and they've been trying to get into all the states of the Federation. So let's quickly take our first story. DSS arrests 20 suspected Boko Haram leaders. The Department of State Service has arrested 20 suspected Boko Haram leaders across the country in a statement signed on behalf of the DSS by spokesperson Tony Apuyo. The DSS confirmed that arrest of notable commanders and frontline members of the notorious group from different parts of the country. It said the group's new pattern of movement and spread was necessitated by the pressure being put on them in their core areas of strength in the Northeast. He said a number of them were arrested in Lagos, Kano, Pt.2, Enugu, and Gombe State between 8th of July and the 25th of August 2015. Adding that, you know, of a particular note was the arrest of, on the 8th of July 2015 in Gombe State, of those possible for the coordination and execution of the suicide attack in Potiskum, Kano, Zaria, and Jos. Now, I mean, just a few comments on this. I feel that the president already gave a 3-month window for, the coalition of the Nigerian ministry in joining forces with the joint coalition that is from the neighboring countries to help tackle and deal with the Boko Haram and ensure that in 3 months' time, everything about Boko Haram become a thing of the past. As a matter of fact, I became afraid when this story made headlines and we're beginning to think that they are spreading. That means, every arm of the Nigerian security, agencies need to just do something really very immediate and very combatful. When I say combatful, I simply means let intelligence information be disseminated appropriately and on time so that we can deal with all of these things. If really and truly, I heard that over the weekend, a couple of arrests were made in Lagos. And it was so close that one of the areas that was mentioned that somebody was picked was on Muri Okwala. And that's really baffling. That seems to be, quite close and all of that. So as a matter of fact, I believe very strongly that the government need to do just more than fighting Boko Haram. We need intelligent information to be properly disseminated across every aspect or every element of our security agencies.
The beautiful part for me, with this story and this development is you talked about intelligence gathering. What better way can you gather intelligence rather than getting it from the horse's mouth? These leaders who were abducted or who were arrested also. They can also provide valuable information to the government as regards the financing. Who are those individuals who have been financing the activities, whether in the country or outside the country? Give us their names, give us how they wire these monies to you. Probably there are some ways, some mechanisms which the government, they've not been able to checkmate, because I do not think that they get sponsors or they get monies only by bankings and wire transfers. It's possible that they also carry this money, physical cash, probably to also evade the searchlight, and the restrictions, as regards the banking procedures. Then also, I'm looking forward that this arrest will also provide intelligence information on their ammunitions. How do they get the ammunitions? How do they buy their ammunitions? Probably are they stealing from the Nigerian military, the armory, or there's somebody who procures these, weapons on behalf of probably some security agencies, and rather they divert it to them. Then I'm also looking at them giving specific, information as regards moles. Moles, who are those individuals who have been sabotaging the nation? I'm talking about individuals at all facets of the Nigerian society, whether at government level or at the ordinary Nigerian level. Who are those individuals who have been working to help these people, or who have helped them grow to this level? Because it's not just about arresting them, but they should arrest them with the sole aim of finding information from them. And I'm also hoping most especially that there won't be issues, because, I mean, if you look at what happened during the last administration, where some members of the Boko Haram said they were arrested, and then later we had issues about, the DSS and the Nigerian army were having issues and discrepancies about who should question them or who should detain them and all of that. But I hope now that we have a government of change, all of that issues will be well addressed. So this is probably the DSS to question them. And after that, who should handle the information aspects? Should it be the Nigerian army or another agency? So all of this, I hope.
Anyway, I mean, talking about local arrest, even if it is based on intelligence, maybe okay, some people who probably have information that could lead to the arrest of these people. But the Nigerian police, I mean, have been saddled with the responsibility of debriefing. When you arrest someone or you caught someone, or you have intelligent information about the activities, of a particular group of people or an individual in the society who are probably creating, some form of umpers, on the government, or trying to carry out some terrorist activity. When the police arrest them, you see, because in all other developed countries of the world, it is the work of the police to debrief. The army do not debrief. The Air Force or the Navy, they don't debrief. So we need to create a boundary, or probably each and every element of the Nigerian force to understand their role and their responsibility, so that when you catch someone, like all the arrests that have been made by DSS over the weekend, they need to be debriefed. Any intelligent information that have been, collected and then collated from all these individuals or group of people can now be properly shared with the people who are combating or who are in the forefront of the battle against terrorism.
In my own opinion, as regards this issue, I won't sound ignorant of the fact that yes, the police, they have the duties to debrief and gather information from these people. But if you look at one major trend which happened even during the last administration, the issue of sabotage. I mean, sabotage of informations. While informations were gathered, they said they did not know who or how those informations leaked out. So at the end of the day, while they were planning on doing this, the enemy camp, they got to, they found the information and they were able to counter it. For me, I think what this government should do is have a closed circle, probably a special unit that it's your duty alone to debrief. And if after gathering your informations and after working with the informations you have,
no, for me,
and you have plans,
I think if you go that route,
no, I think
if you don't go that route, creating another element.
If you talk about security here, it could be a coalition of probably the police, the DSS.
They can all come together.
Army.
That's my idea.
That's why I said
that at least the army, they hear it when the person is being debriefed.
A special unit, but it should be closed circle. So if at the end of the day, a particular information leaks, you can be able to point out that, okay, you or this particular group of individuals, it was a responsibility. Who is the mole amongst that group? Because, I mean, we're not saying that laws or policies should be violated. Okay. We're looking at for security reasons. I mean, we've also talked about emergency, state of emergency being declared in the security sector. So anything that can, as much as possible, will help the government in fighting Boko Haram, for me, should be carried on.
Okay, anyway, it's trending, and we definitely will bring you more stories on that. Don't forget, it's Momentum Monday, and we are going to the next story. And this just flows into, the next thing that we'll be discussing. The trial of the ex-NSA, that's the National Security Advisor, begins tomorrow, Tuesday, the 1st of September. The immediate past National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, retired, is set to appear before an Abuja Federal High Court for allegedly being in possession of firearms, without license on Tuesday. don't forget that we brought this story, but we just brushed it. We took it on the surface, and like we do on CROSSFIRE, we just allow, stories to build, and then we bring updates to you. Now, his residence was searched in Sokoto State, and they found a lot of firearms there that are not licensed. Even in Abuja, where he stays, they found a lot of firearms there that are not licensed. So according to report, the Federal Ministry of Justice has taken over the case from the Department of State Security Service, who had charged Dazuki with an alleged offense punishable under Section 27 A and one of the Firearm Act, Cap F28 law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004. Now, if somebody in the position of, Colonel Dazuki, the National Security Advisor, I'm not saying you cannot have firearms, in case you need to do self-protection, especially for self-defense, even though this is someone who is guarded 24/7. But notwithstanding, he is a human being. He may want to go out without, with the paraphernalia of his office as a National Security Advisor, and he just want to carry a very small, firearm in case of any incasity, understand. Now, but the truth is that he has been found with unlicensed firearms.
Well, but
and this is an individual.
The beautiful part was, it wasn't just the firearms that were found in his possession. Now, according, based on what I'm seeing, the facts I'm seeing before me, now they also, recovered high-caliber rifles, including magazines and military jets in one of his houses. Yeah. And also, they also recovered 12 new vehicles, including 5 bulletproof cars from his home. And even while after quizzing him, and he could not even explain the ownership. So it's not just about the firearms, though. We're talking about other sophisticated weapons within his possession. And of course, if you look at the issue about security also in the country, and also the issue of corruption, which members of the past administration are being leveled against. I think that's the reason why this case is coming out strong. So I don't want us to limit it only to the possession of firearms.
All right, that's cool. All right, we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, pick up your phones and let's discuss, the state of the nation on CROSSFIRE. Let's go on the short break now. When we come back, we will take it up from there. It's Momentum Monday. To stay with us.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.